For the Multan Sultans, last season's final must seem like a distant memory. They have lost 5 from 6 so far and find themselves rooted to the foot of the table.
In the air, taken.
Now, oh, he got in, yes.
Quetta Gladiators, meanwhile, are in a great position heading into the business end of the tournament. They were superb with the ball last time out, and nobody more so than Fahim Ashraf.
And it has cost him. It has cost him dear.
That's out, I'm afraid, and the end of the match. Fahim has finished with a 5-wicket haul. He's done really well, actually.
Tonight, it is a must-win match for Multan. Or will Quetta Gladiators continue their winning run? Yeah, incredibly important matchup heading your way here in HBLPSL 10. It's match number 18 and Quetta Gladiators are at home to the Multan Sultans, live from Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore. An absolute pleasure to have your company with us here in the pitchside studio. Do or die for the Multan Sultans today. 4 times runners-up in this edition of the tournament. What can they manage today? They certainly need to try and turn the tide. And here to discuss it all, heading up to first ball, I have 2 of the greatest alongside me. Mark Butcher, don't look surprised. Wakar Yunus. Boys, I don't want to emphasise this too much, but Wakar, in terms of the Multan Sultans, what do they have to do to try and turn the tide and get back to winning ways this evening?
Look, against Quetta Gladiators, they have a good record. I mean, that's the only plus. They should take a positive lead out of that and think that they've done it in the past. Yes, things are not going well, not with the bat, not with the ball also. So just stay positive and I mean, just by looking at it behind us, it seems that Quetta is a far gelled team. On the other hand, Multan looks a little dull, but they have to pick up, otherwise time to go home.
And they've been brilliant for so many editions of the tournament, Butch, but when we look at the Multan Sultans this year, new look side really in many ways, and they're just not putting the performances on the board.
No, absolutely. And we've all been there playing in team sports where, you know, you begin the season with all the same high hopes, no matter that the personnel might have changed a little bit. You get off to a bad start, and if you don't arrest that very quickly, the thing you find yourself doing is just searching for the right combination. So they're making changes, change after change. You don't ever get a settled lineup. Nobody seems to know what their role is, and all of that snowballs into more and more losses. So listen, they have to turn it around tonight. My feeling is they'll go back to a bit of experience if they can get it back in. David Willey's been on the sidelines, Osama Mir's been on the sidelines. Go back to the guys who have been around and done it, and perhaps their experience will get you over the line. But Quetta at the moment are absolutely buzzing. Back-to-back wins for them, and they are looking like a team very much on the up.
And momentum is so incredibly important in this format of the game. Taking a look at the standings heading into today, it's 3 plays 6, but you know, Multan Sultans, they're so far away from those top 4 at the moment, only winning 1 out of their last 6 matches. Top 4 teams qualifying for playoffs, as we know, so it's incredibly important for them to get a win today.
Sure is. Look, there's no other way of saying it. They have to win tonight, otherwise you feel that there's just no way back for them. But you know, we've seen funny turnarounds in T20 cricket. Ever since its inception, the point of the format means that you kind of get a great performance out of one player, and that can change your entire outlook and get a little bit of momentum going. So they're not out of it, but if they lose tonight, whew, I think they're done.
Oh, and I tell you what, it's pretty hot and humid conditions here at Gaddafi Stadium at the moment. The weather is impressingly hot. I wonder if that will really bring the dew factor into contention, something both captains will be discussing ahead of the all-important toss. We know sides often win the toss, elect to bowl first, but it all remains to be seen what happens in today's edition of the tournament. Sounds like the toss is just about ready to go, though. We have the great Ramiz Raja standing out in the middle alongside the 2 captains.
Yes, we are ready with the exchange on coin toss. We've got the 2 captains there, absolutely ready. Javed Malik is going to oversee the toss. He's the match referee. We've got the exchange on mascot as well. Muhammad Ibrahim Ali, welcome to the toss. Rizwan and Saud Shakil leading their units. Saud has the coin. Here we go. Tail is the call. क्या करेंगे साउद और क्यों करेंगे?
आज डिसाइड किया कि पहले बॉलिंग करेंगे.
अच्छा, क्या लग रहा है आपको? ये ऑस्ट्रेलियन पिच है, ऑस्ट्रेलियन सॉइल है, इसके लिए क्या अलग बैटिंग एंगल्स हैं, बॉलिंग लिंक्स डिफरेंट आप समझते होंगी?
जो लास्ट 2 मैचेस हमने खेले हैं तो इसमें यह है कि हार्ड लेंथ पे जो अच्छी तरह बॉलर्स मार रहे हैं वहाँ पे, तो उनको थोड़ी सी मदद मिल रही है वहाँ पे और वो अच्छा यूज़ कर रहे हैं इसको। देखते हैं इस पर थोड़ा सा इस बार ग्रास जो ज़्यादा ग्रीन नहीं है, लेकिन देखते हैं किस तरह खेलता है ये।
आपकी जो जब से यहाँ पे आपके मैचेस शुरू हुए हैं, आपकी बॉलिंग को ये जो स्क्वायर है वो सूट कर रहा है, आप मानते हैं?
बिल्कुल, हम हमारे जितने भी बॉलर्स हैं उनको सबको सूट कर रहा है और अच्छी चीज़ ये है कि वो सब रिदम में नज़र आ रहे हैं और जो चाह रहे हैं वो प्लान्स एग्जीक्यूट भी हो रहे हैं।
बैक टू बैक मैचेस जीतना T20 में मुश्किल काम होता है, आपने टफ मैचेस जीते हैं, अच्छे मैचेस जीते हैं, क्या मोराल को फ़र्क पड़ता है टीम के?
लेकिन कोई भी विन होता है तो बहुत वो जो है ना मोराल बूस्ट करता है किसी भी टीम का, और इस तरह से बैक टू बैक मैचेस जीतना, और जिस तरह हमने कराची वाला मैच जीता था तो काफ़ी अच्छा मोराल है टीम का। उम्मीद करेंगे इस मैच में भी अच्छा शो करें।
इनकी पार्टी आप स्पॉइल कर सकते हैं, इनको हर मैच जीतना है, आप क्या ख्याल है, अब इनको हराने के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा?
बिल्कुल, हम अच्छी क्रिकेट खेलनी पड़ेगी ऑन द डे। उनकी टीम भी अच्छी है, लेकिन कोशिश करेंगे कि इनको आज हरा दें।
कितनी टीम चेंजेस हैं कोई?
ना, हमारा सेम टीम है।
बेस्ट ऑफ लक। रिजवान साहब, डू और डाई सिचुएशन में क्या होता है? या तो टीम बैठ जाती है या टीम खड़ी हो जाती है, क्योंकि डेस्परेट सिचुएशन में हमने देखा है कई दफ़ा पाकिस्तान टीम भी इम्पॉसिबल को पॉसिबल कर देती है। सो टीम जो बात आपने की है अभी तक अपने प्लेयर्स के साथ, एक तो आपने अपनी परफॉर्मेंस को ऊपर लेके जाना है और टीम को भी खड़ा करना है। मुश्किल काम है, आसान काम है?
और इसमें बेसिकली मुश्किल काम है, मगर अगर जिस तरह हमारा जिस बिलीफ में मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि जैसे आपने कहा है कि ऊपर लेके जाने वाली इंशाल्लाह उम्मीद है हमारी ऊपर ही जाएगी, क्योंकि जब तक आप बिलीव और हिम्मत करते हैं तो सारी चीज़ें आसान होती है। क्योंकि हार तो हार होती रहती है, मगर हार जब आप अंदर से मानते हैं तो हार वो असल है कि आप बैठ जाते हैं। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह अंदर से हार नहीं मारी, जब तक मौका हमारे पास होगा हाथ में इंशाल्लाह हम हिम्मत करते जाएंगे इंशाल्लाह।
इस पिच को कैसा रीड करें, क्योंकि आप पहले बैटिंग कर रहे हैं?
हम भी बॉलिंग करने वाले थे क्योंकि स्ट्रेंथ को देखते हुए, मगर बहरहाल जिस तरह पिच है अब बैटिंग आई गई, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह कोई इशू हमारे लिए नहीं रहेगा। और जहाँ तक कोई टारगेट सेट नहीं कर पा रही, क्योंकि हम जाएंगे तो पता चलेगा कि डिफरेंट सॉइल तो नज़र आ रहा है, तो इंशाल्लाह कोशिश करें कि जल्द से जल्द इसको समझ लें कि पिच में कितना बेस्ट हो सकता है। अगर
आपने सिर्फ एक आधी बात करनी हो अपने बॉलर्स के साथ तो क्या करेंगे, क्योंकि बॉलिंग जो है वो अंडर प्रेशर है?
बिल्कुल, सिर्फ इसी पे रखा हुआ है कि अगर टॉप ऑफ स्टम्प क्योंकि अगर आप देख रहे हैं कि लाहौर की जो पिचेस है इसमें अगर आप स्टम्प टू स्टम्प टॉप स्टम्प बॉलिंग की जाए तो मुश्किल है, वो आसान नहीं है, तो हमारी तरफ से लेंथ पे ही रखा हुआ है।
बेस्ट ऑफ लक रिजवान।
थैंक यू जी।
So the news from the centre out here is that Gladiators have won the toss and decided to bowl.
Yeah, probably no real surprises there. Brand new pitch. They elect to have a bowl first, which sends in the Multan Sultans. And Butch, they've thrown the kitchen sink at the changes, haven't they?
Yeah, I thought they might. And as I said, that's what happens when you're a losing team. You can't get on a settled lineup. Curtis Camphor comes in, the Irish all-rounder comes in for a debut for the Multan Sultans. He comes in instead of Shea Hope. Willie comes in instead of Josh Little, who's had a real struggle. Akif goes out and Osama Mir comes back in. So they've got a bit of experience in there, and Willie and Osama Mir lengthen the batting line-up a bit and just hope that they can get a little bit more out of the bowling line-up, because at the moment the batting has been going fine. Yasir Khan, Rizwan, Cameron Ghulam have all performed well. Bowling has been a disaster.
Let's hope it's just the trick that they're after. Looking at the Quetta Gladiators, Waka.
They don't need to make any change. I mean, they're playing good cricket. Twice they have defended and their batting is still scratchy, I think, because if you look at Riley Rousseau, Koshal Mendes did score in the start of the tour, but hasn't really kicked on. Chapman still struggling for the form. Fahim Ashraf has batted quite nicely. Hassan Nawaz, I want to see him up front at the top, maybe in top 3. And then their bowling has been really, really good, especially Mohammad Wasim Jr. I know Fahim Ashraf picked up 5 wickets, but it was Mohammad Wasim who really did the trick.
When it comes to the head-to-head with these two sides, it's all been one-way traffic, but current form does not suggest that perhaps this may be how things pan out this evening. Well, if the last 7 matches are anything to go by, it's been all Multan Sultans' way, Butch. But given how their season's been going so far, is it Quetta's time to break the turn?
Well, you would imagine so, wouldn't you? The interesting thing for me is that Quetta have won the last two games. The back-to-back matches were great defences against Karachi Kings, and then of course in the match against Zalmi the other day. So this time they've got to do it the other way round and go out there and chase runs. So that could be something different. Multan have just got to throw everything at it, and of course they will look at that history and go, you know what, we've had these guys on toast for a long time now. Maybe tonight is the night for us to turn things around.
Oh, let's just see what happens with the head-to-head. Now, off to a very short break here at the pitchside studio, but stick with us because that whacker pitch, what's in store for us this evening? We sent the experts out to check it out. Pleasure to have your company back at the pitchside studio. Just saw Quetta Gladiators win the toss, elect to bowl first on a brand new wicket. So we thought we'd send a couple of batters out in the middle to find out how conditions are going to play this evening. It's time for the pitch report with Arooj Mumtaz Khan and Martin Guptill.
300th HBLPSL game, 5th this season in Lahore, and a brand new surface. It's pretty even all across, 63 to my offside, 62. So right bang in the center, but a new surface, and surfaces in Lahore have been very spicy. 158 the first innings average score, 46 wickets to seam, and the Pacers have thoroughly enjoyed this. Whether they enjoyed this one or not, Martin Guptill has been assessing this surface for a while. Marty, on first look, what do you make of it?
It looks a great surface, just by visuals. But I've bent down and had a look here. It is very firm under the tap test, and there is a couple of little green spots up and down the wicket. So I think it's going to be a pretty decent wicket. Whether you bowl first or bat first, I don't think it matters.
It is the one with the whacker soil, so whether that Australian nature comes in or not, we saw it was a bit of an uneven bounce, slightly sticky maybe. You think it's again a new ball wicket?
Yeah, I think potentially. I think you just unknown what's going to happen with a new ball. So first up, new ball, make use of the conditions and see how you go.
You talk about Multan Sultans who are looking for a win. What is the one thing they can do to maybe get up on top?
They just need to score one more run than the opposition. But I think Mohammad Rizwan is key to their batting, and if he can get away to a good start, then who knows how many they can get.
Well, we'll find out what the skippers are going to do at the toss, but the surface definitely looks a good one.
Yeah, that was done a little bit earlier in the evening there. A little bit sticky and a bit uneven, they said, the Aussie soil. That's not very Australian, is it, Waka? What?
No. Sounds a bit more like England.
Temperamental?
Bit more English,
definitely
isn't
that.
it?
Yeah,
bit more English.
Listen, the chances are that there'll be some good pace and bounce in it.
Yep.
It should be a good pitch for batting on. Both sides have sort of, well, I'd say Multan have reinforced the spin department, bringing Osama Mir back in, and if there is that bounce, he can be very effective. But I think, generally speaking, you should be looking at somewhere around the 180, 190 mark batting first. And I think if Multan can manage to do that, which they did successfully in the previous game, then they will be able to put a team in Quetta Gladiators whose strength has been in defending totals rather than chasing them down. So I think you've got to look at it in terms of have a little look for the first 3 or 4 overs. Don't be 3 down and blow the game in the power play, and then look to pile it on.
And one of Quetta Gladiators' strengths have been with the ball, Waka. Fahim Ashraf was brilliant, got a 5 for 33 last match against Peshawar Zalmi. What do you think he's going to be able to extricate on this particular wicket tonight?
Well, I'm not sure if he's going to get this much bounce on this surface, but yeah, there is a grass on the surface, and he hits the seam hard. He's not one of those bowlers who will float the ball up. He will pitch it up, and he bowled beautifully. It was a doing of Wasim Jr., Muhammad Amir from the other end, which put lots of pressure up front, and then he sneaked in. Although he went for 15 in the first over, came back very, very strongly and picked up 5.
Surface was a little bit naughty the other night, I thought.
Yeah,
a couple of deliveries. The cracks got a little wider on day 2 on that pitch.
Yeah, the surface.
And so we had a few deliveries that really jumped and kind of made hitting the pitch absolutely paramount for the quicks. And I reckon this one will be similar too. It won't get the leaping bounce, but it should go through okay.
Surface is a bit like you, isn't it?
Up and down.
Naughty.
Well, a bit of long grass, a little bit patchy. But talking about their opposition, obviously the Multan Sultans, they've probably been better in the batting department than the bowling department, and Kamran Ghulam stood up with the bat in their last match. Waka, 52 red off 31 balls. How important is he this evening?
He's been frustrated because they've changed his numbers so many times in this sixth game they played. They bat him as number 7, number 4, number 5, and I think this was a kind of frustrated innings, and he played a blinder. I mean, he's a tiny little guy, and he hits it hard, fast hands, and he's also good at maneuvering the ball and nudging those singles. So I think they need that. But first, up front, Rizwan got to assess and judge what total is required on the surface.
All right, well, let's get our expert prediction right before live action starts, shall we? All right, no fence sitting here, gentlemen. Who takes the chocolates tonight?
Right, okay. I'm going to say this with the amount of confidence, or the amount of confidence I have in my prediction is the same as the amount of hair on my head. I'm going for Multan to win tonight. I think they can turn it around.
Waka?
Look, I think Quetta is on the roll, so I feel Quetta, by the look of it, they look a better side.
No, that was our expert prediction of the evening. Mohammad Rizwan, how important will he be this evening? The strike rate's improved exponentially, Butch, but they've got to get off to a good start today. Can he do it?
Yeah, they do. I think Waka's absolutely right. I think that one of Mohammad Rizwan's great strengths is being able to sort of go out there, ride out the storm, and then play bigger shots towards the back end. One of his weaknesses is deciding and knowing what he thinks a defendable total will be when batting first. So that's going to be a challenge for him. I really like Yasir Khan. I think he's a fantastic player. And if the two of them get off to a flyer, then who knows what might be achievable on what looks like a really good pitch.
Oh, but Amir with the new ball, what can he get this evening, Waka?
Yeah, he's bowling really, really well. He's a smart cookie. You know what we saw the other day to Babar Azam, the way he bowled those bouncers and then full length delivery. That was smartness of T20 cricket, and I think he's going to be the key up front. Be careful against him.
Oh, thank you so much for your time, gentlemen. Absolute joy to have your company with us in the pitchside studio. Time to head upstairs for commentary because such an important match is about to occur here in the HBLPSL. Match number 300, and how apt that it should be so important for the Multan Sultans. Can't wait to see what happens when live action begins on the other side of this very, very short break.